You're watching the Border League, presented by the United States Marine Corps on League Ready. It is a beautiful evening on the Strip in Las Vegas, and we are at Coronado High School for a massive matchup of high school powerhouses. It's Compass against the Explorers, a little Arizona, Florida flavor to get us started for a thrilling weekend in Vegas. Sam Brief alongside Kevin Sweeney and our wonderful crew to get you set all weekend long. And Kevin, maybe the best matchup of the weekend is what we get to start with, and it features the Boozer twins against a loaded Compass team.
Yeah, I mean, talent level across the board is phenomenal, and it starts in the front court. Cam Boozer, arguably the best player in high school basketball right now, a dominant post scorer. A college coach told me he's the modern Tim Duncan, and who am I to fight him on it? Like, he has been productive at every step of the journey. And what a matchup today with him and Mika Murinen, top 2026 recruit, won Peach Jam himself at the 16U level with Brad Beal Elite. If you want to prove you are one of the best prospects in high school basketball, you have to beat the best high school big man, Cam Boozer, and that's what Mika Murinen has an opportunity to do today.
One of the best high school seniors in the country against one of the best high school juniors. Boozer versus Murinen. We'll be talking about it all night long. But let's get into some of the others, and the rest of these teams are loaded as well. And we start with a starting lineup for Compass, and it features not only the massive Murinen in the front court, but a really dynamic duo, the house twins in the backcourt, Caden and Kalik. Their dad, Eddie, played in the NBA.
Yeah, a pair of 2026 guards with a ton of talent and upside. Dynamic, both played up 17U this summer at Peach Jam. Combine that with two high major guards and Jeremiah Green going to Texas A&M and Davis Fogel going to Gonzaga. That's a loaded starting five.
Well, they have to contend with one of the most well-decorated teams in modern high school basketball history. Cam's twin brother is Caden. He's also heading to Duke. He's the best point guard in the country. I
mean, he is the biggest winning point guard in the country, if nothing else. An elite floor general, gets others better, sets his teammates up at an elite level. Fun to watch in ball screens. Excited to see this dynamic. I mean, look, this duo has won everything in high school basketball for a reason. They're fun to watch when they're on the floor together, and we'll see it for at least one more year at Duke.
And the Boozer twins are joined by Jackson Richardson, Marcellus Jackson, and Eric Dibami. So we've got 4 games for you tonight here in Vegas. We start with this massive matchup of forwards in the middle. Here are the guys you were talking about, Kevin. In white, it's Cam Boozer. In black, Mika Murinen. It's the Explorers and Compass. And we start with a violation on the tip-off. And it'll be Compass ball. So we got 2 16-minute halves for you with a quick 4-minute halftime. And 4 games tonight in Vegas. So we start with Murinen in the high post, a handoff here to Jeremiah Green. I already mentioned him. He is off to Texas A&M. Murinen misses his first. And our first look at Caden Boozer. Pass was tipped, and it's an early turnover for the Explorers. Here's Gonzaga bound Fogel for 3 to get us started.
I mean, everybody talks about Fogel's athleticism, his ability to get to the rim. If he shoots it consistently, he's going to be a star for Gonzaga. That's a nice shot to get us going here.
And now a steal to back him up, and the flush to finish for Jeremiah Green.
His motor never stops running. A perfect fit to go play for Buzz Williams to show out there on defense.
Well, he's still moving here on D, and off the pick and roll, Dibami ends in a tie-up. We'll see where the whistle has us going. Looks like it's back to Compass. The energy for Compass is contagious to start.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it starts. If you have 5 guys on the floor going to play high major basketball and they're still bought in defensively, that says a whole lot about your ball club.
Actually staying with the Explorers here, and Cam Boozer, his first game since committing to Duke, and to Dibami, he was fouled. He'll go to the stripe.
Yeah, and that's where you start to see the evolution of Cam Boozer. I talked to him last week, with his commitment to Duke, and he has worked so hard on being more of a playmaker, a guy who can handle the ball like a guard, be a pick and roll ball handler, not just a roll man. And you saw that there. They can use him in a lot of different ways. And him distributing from the perimeter, one of those newfound parts of his game.
The France native Debami missing his first. Yeah, Cam Boozer, really someone who does a little bit of everything, right? He's just looking to polish everything off as he heads to Duke next year. And now the Explorers on the board for the first time.
Yeah, there's some maturity about his game. And I think maturity in his approach and how he's gotten better. So hard to continue the upward trajectory when you start at such a high point. He's done that. One of the reasons I look up to his game so much.
That was Caden House on the miss. 5-star, number 14 in the class of 2026. And it was out off a compass, so we're going back to the Explorers. You mentioned Cam Boozer, the development, the polish. Really, both he and Caden both had that. They've played so much high-level basketball for high schoolers.
I mean, they've just been a part of so much winning, and they haven't been blinded by all the stuff that's easy to get blinded by as a high school star these days, right? They're not social media sensations. They are very focused on the work, and I think it's allowed them to be as good as they've been.
What a stuff for Murnin, showing what he can do on defense. But no points coming out of it for Compass. House chases it in the corner, off to his little brother. Now Murnin from downtown can't reward himself.
Man, but there's the skill set, right? Run the floor, block a shot, turn around the other end, take a three.
That's a really talented player. And then it's Jackson Richardson flying high just like Pops.
Man, the athleticism on the floor is very impressive.
He's a 4-star with dozens of offers from high major schools. And both teams kind of settling into a rhythm just 2.5 minutes in here in Vegas. It's Murnin. They've got Richardson on Murnin. And now House over the outstretched arm of Jackson. Offensive board. House along 2 falls. And now we have a whistle. So House showing up to
I
jump.
think they were just checking on Murn, and he took a shot to the head. I think he's fine. He walked it off, but for a second there, I think he got knocked fighting for that rebound. But there's, I think, one of the reasons you love Murnin, right? Like that second effort bought them another shot, and House knocks it down, gets him an extra couple points on the board.
When you watch Murnin's game, and he was really a star of Peach Jam last year, championship for Beal on the under-16 circuit. What's the first thing about his game that you go, whoa, he's got it?
I just think he moves at 6'10" so well. Like, he has so many kind of guard-like traits for his size. Can handle the basketball, can shoot. He is the modern big in so many ways, and you just see where he can continue to grow. Like, his frame is still filling out. There's a lot more to come for Mika Murnin, and the fact that we're already seeing some of those flashes now is the reason why college coaches and NBA scouts are so excited about him.
He's taking his seat on the bench now. Oh, and here on that note, he comes right back in. Native of Järvenpää, Finland, but he's been in the States for quite some time. He came over last year to play a season at Sunrise Christian in Kansas, and then continues moving westward as he spends this year with Compass, based in Chandler, Arizona. Here's Caden Boozer, one of the top point guards in the country, to Richardson. And in the corner, a 3-ball is good for Columbus. So Columbus showing off some of the outside shooting here.
I mean, how can the other guys around Cam and Caden help? Number one is three-point shooting. Space the floor. They get one there.
Big bully down low. Cam Boozer gets tied up with Murnin, and really seeing the junior from Finland hold his ground with Boozer.
He's battling, but the guy who really can't love that was Caden House, number 10. He took a shot in the chest from Cam Boozer. Thought he had the charge. They didn't get to give him the whistle, and instead it's Cam going to the free throw line. But man, you battle. I mean, that is not fun to stand in front of that freight train, and not to get rewarded with the charge is not something that you can see Caden on the side. He's frustrated. I think he thought he bought that call.
6'9", 215 pounds. Cam Boozer, twin brother of Caden, son of Carlos. 13 seasons in the NBA, mostly with the Jazz, with the Bulls. Two-time All-Star, two-time Olympian, and a McDonald's All-American. So Carlos Boozer, who was a star at Duke, will next year watch his two boys star in front of the Cameron Crazies. Here's House, electricity to the paint for two.
I mean, he is born to score. His dad did it, his brother Jalen did it, his twin brother Kalik does it, and he can do it too. I mean, this is a lot of fun to watch when he's cooking.
And that's keeper Jackson, the number 40 power forward in next year's class, with another jumper. Now Caden throws it right to Jackson Richardson. Here's Caden Boozer. Way strong on that teardrop. Richardson, that's why you fight. That's why you fight again. Third chance.
That's high motor basketball right there by Jackson Richardson, and that will prompt a timeout for a good reason. I mean, if you are the Compass staff, you cannot be pleased giving up 2 and 3 opportunities at the rim.
It was a hot start for Compass, but we're really seeing Columbus now rise to the occasion. What has Cam showed you just in these first 6 minutes or so?
You know, I think he's made some mistakes, but he continues to show his evolving skill set, right? We talked about, you know, his ability to pass the ball, his ability to play on the perimeter. He is playing more like a big wing than a big at this point. And that's where the NBA is going, right? All those big wings. You think about what NBA teams are valuing right now, like the Paolo Bancheros of the world. I think that's the type of player that Cam is going to continue to evolve towards. And part of that is, what can you do on the perimeter? What can you do with the ball in your hands? And I think you're seeing a continued emphasis from him on improving that part of his game.
And for a big guy, he's really one of the great passers in this class. Someone who almost in some ways might remind our audience of a guy like Kevin Love, who's elite in his outlet passing.
Yeah, he's unselfish, right? Cam Boozer plays the game the right way in every facet. And I think, again, that's why I made the Duncan comparison earlier. He's so fundamental. I think sometimes you just want to see him let his natural talent loose, and when he does, you see the results.
Duncan, fundamental, those two words are pretty much synonyms. Out of the timeout, it's Caden House, airball in the 3, might have been tipped, as we'll stay here with Compass. If you're just joining us, this is the Border League on League Ready, Coronado High School, just outside of Las Vegas. And that's Caden House checking out. Jacob Lanier getting his first action as Columbus forces a turnover. So now we watch Cam taking it up the floor. You get to really see that all-around skill set.
Yeah, it's hard because Caden's such a good point guard. You don't want to take it out of his hands, but I do think they want to continue to get him reps like that, and there's another zip pass right there.
Oh, what a pass, Boozer to Boozer. Shot doesn't fall. It looks like a foul on the ground going against Compass. And we'll stay here. Caden will take the inbound. Kevin, a week ago you chatted with both Caden and Cam and quite a bit of their family as they announced their commitment to Duke. What'd you learn about these two just as people?
I think they're both incredibly driven, like especially Cam. Like he has that rare...
Fogel again from downtown.
Yeah, he just has a rare motivation. His mom told me, like, the challenge of being the son of an NBA player is that there's a lot of people who don't want you to make it because you've been given every advantage. And like, he's incredibly internally motivated to prove them wrong. He understands, I think both of them understand that, like, committing to Duke, being the #1 player in the class, whatever those accolades are, they're not the end of the journey, they're the beginning. I think Cece, their mom, used the term, it's still in the valley, they're not at the top of the mountain yet. And there's a motivation to continue to get better as they push towards the NBA here in a couple years' time.
Jeremiah Green now with 6 points for Compass with that teardrop. Right, there's really no better predictor of NBA talent than this question. Did your dad play in the NBA? And for both of these guys, it's a yes, as Cam misses on the 3.
Yeah, look, you're seeing a lot of these names. We'll continue to see them throughout the night. The wave of NBA Suns is here. It's all over the place. I mean, you walk around Peach Jam these days, you see LeBron and Carmelo and Carlos Boozer. Like the names are everywhere from our childhood watching ball. Now seeing their sons on the big stage.
And there you see both Caden and Cam. Caden 2, Cam 12. Nice start for both of them as an offensive foul against Compass will send it to the Explorers. And another NBA son getting ready for this inbound pass. Jackson Richardson, son of Jason Richardson. He played 14 NBA seasons, won 2 slam dunk contests, and we've already seen his little boy's hops.
Yeah, he's dynamic as an athlete. And the bloodlines don't just stop with him. His older brother, Jace, is
what a move for Boozer.
His older brother, Jace, is playing at Michigan State. Tom Izzo very excited about Jace Richardson, and Jackson Richardson will be recruited at the same level by high-level programs. Already is, despite being a 2026 recruit.
Already got offers from Bama, Michigan, San Diego State, and a whole host of others. Here's Green, who hasn't missed. The nice feed. The foul came beforehand. High on the outside, this is Caden House, 5-star prospect, son of Eddie House, another one of those NBA dads. Here's Davis Vogel. We've liked his shooting so far. Into the corner, that 3 is a little bit strong for Nick Randall. And then another foul. It's been very whistle happy so far. Looks like Mernon got banged up again. He's getting beat up.
He's battling. He got undercut there by Richardson. Not a dirty play. I mean, they're just boxing out, battling for position, and Mernon jumped as Richardson kind of pushed his box out. Good thing he looks to be all right. You know, sprung up, no problem.
Mika Mernon out of Jarvenpa, Finland. Town of 50,000. South Central Finland. Last year lived in Kansas. This year he's in Arizona.
And talk about an honor for him playing with the senior national team in Finland this summer. And then to come back from that in Olympic qualifying and go play 16U ball at Peach Jam has to be quite the adjustment. But that experience playing against pros at a young age is invaluable. And I think you continue to see his development by surrounding himself with some of the best players in the world.
A foul on Compass will keep it here. On the note of Mernon's development, 21 points in the title game at Peach Jam last year. His shooting was fantastic. He was the best player on the court.
And he did that after getting hurt the day before. I mean, he was down on the ground for about 10 minutes. It was a really scary situation. But, you know, he checked out fine, showed up the next day to play, and led him to a championship. And, again, this kid is tough. Like, he is skinny, but he wants to battle in the post. He is not afraid of contact, and that's a really positive sign, right? Like, he is not someone that is relying on just his finesse. He wants to battle on the low block too, and he's going to need both parts of that game to become, you know, one of the best players in this class of 2026.
Well, even plays like that at which a whistle was blown, like we're seeing him not afraid to body up with a 6'9", 215 monster in Cam Boozer. He's really holding his own.
Yeah, and Cam is more chiseled, probably a sturdier frame, but I think Mernon is understanding how to use his length to impact shorter guys. He is taller than Cam Boozer, and again, a lot of it's just effort, and he's shown it so far today.
Cam Boozer with an early 4 points. He's perfect from the stripe tonight, and it stays that way to bring it within 1. It's the Border League here on League Ready. Coronado High School, our host. Beautiful Las Vegas. The best high school players in the country on the court, and many of them are on this court right now for our first battle of many on the weekend. Jeremiah Green. Here's Jacob Lanier. Back to Mernon, who gets his pocket picked by Dabami. Sort of a sloppy start for both sides, and keeper Jackson strong. Debami has been everywhere. Debami with nice footwork, but he comes up short.
Yeah, some positive signs, though, from him there. I mean, the ability to run the floor, the defensive activity, the cross-court skip pass. I mean, he has a really intriguing skill set out of France and really an X factor for this Explorers team throughout the high school season.
Lanier Murinin, 3 leads to a foul, so 3 free throws coming for Mika. And we mentioned Debami out of France, such a hotbed of basketball talent. Victor Wembanyama is right at the top, but we are seeing France explode as a destination for the top talent.
I mean, top 2 picks in last year's draft, top pick in the draft before. I mean, forget Duke and Kentucky. It's all about the French guys right now. And again, there's a huge influx of talent from that country, more coming. Some will play college basketball, like Debami likely will. Others will stay in France and develop over there, like guys like Bilal Coulibaly did, become right away top prospects. I mean, it's been impressive to see the rise of that country, and I think everyone anticipates the French pushing the U.S. just as they did in the Olympics this year, but pushing them moving forward, especially as Victor Wembanyama enters his prime.
And Murinin makes all 3. I think with every year of Wembanyama development, we'll see France be more and more of a legit threat to the U.S. What a gold medal game that was in the Paris Olympics this summer. Wow. Boozer, pass was picked. Murinin to House. Murinin diving for it. We're going back to the Explorers. This game has been sloppy.
Yeah, I mean, that's early season high school basketball. I mean, we talk about it in college with the portal, but it's similar in high school. There's a lot of new faces learning how to play with one another. These are opportunities to work out the kinks, and I think we're seeing some of that so far in the first half.
We've played 10 minutes. We've got 10 turnovers, 9 fouls between the 2 teams. Bounce pass picked. There's an 11th turnover. Fogel on Boozer. Nice handoff. And a foul on the dunk. We'll get a look at Nick Randall at the stripe. 4-star prospect from St. Louis, still undecided, but he's coming into the final stage of his recruitment.
Yeah, I know Missouri has recruited him. Obviously very important to them to keep talent from St. Louis in the state. He's an interesting prospect, a guy who definitely wanted to pay off that and one right there. Missed the dunk, but a guy who can really run the floor, physical body. Dennis Gates needs those, and so do a lot of high major programs. He's a guy to watch, one of these unsigned seniors in the class of 2025.
He's ranked as the 14th best power forward in that class. Missouri offering him alongside Illinois, Creighton, Kansas, so you're really seeing that Midwest presence with Compass leading by 4. Let's watch Caden Boozer run the floor. A floor general, pass first point guard, headed to Duke next fall. Boozer, nice touch pass. And a foul against Compass. The whistles have been blowing. Caden House can't believe it.
I mean, I think the frustration for Compass is you feel like you're playing a great defensive possession. You kind of have Explorers tricked up a little bit with the zone. It's a great look to try to neutralize Caden Boozer in ball screens, and it was working. And then a kind of silly touch foul neutralizes it. That's really frustrating if you're Compass.
Jackson in the corner, rebound to Murnin. Fogel against some pressure. Pass intercepted. There's Caden Boozer, who gives it right back up to House. Murnin, little jab step, up and under. That looked pretty.
Crafty. I mean, sensed the rim protection coming with Cam Boozer. And it wasn't necessarily the finish you work on in practice, but it's one that works in a game.
And the 3 pays off in the corner. Marcellus Jackson from downtown.
Big answer.
Murnin has an answer. Another tray for the Finnan.
I mean, that's the versatility of Mika Murinin, right? Go battle inside, finish around the rim. Okay, you want to take that right? I'll step out, I'll shoot it from 3.
He's got 8 points, leading everyone on the court. A 3-ball. Caden Boozer can't hit it. Here's Green running the floor. He was looking for Murnin, and then a steal right back. Cade Dinhouse here. Columbus back on the attack. 3-on-2. Find the open man, and it's keeper Jackson.
Yeah, up and down we go, right? And keeper Jackson in the right place at the right time. You got to reward those big wings and bigs when you run the floor, and keeper Jackson did, and Explorers found him for the layup.
Another foul. This one going against Jackson. AZ Compass, led by Peter Caffey, second-year head coach, comes from Minneapolis. On the flip side, Columbus, led by 60-year lead man Andrew Moran, also the founder of the Miami Hoop School, an elite training center down at the Sunshine State, and his team is getting the ball.
Yeah, just a sloppy pass there. I think Compass has tried to do a little too much, right? Like, trust, get the ball to Mika Murinen and let good things happen at some point, right? Like, it's going to be hard to break down this Explorers defense just with the pass. I think you got to trust these playmakers to go make plays.
Compass in the 2-3 zone right now, and it's Jackson with the corner 3.
He's really had a nice day. 10 points already, shooting the ball well, attacking the rim, has a really good frame. I think this is the guy to continue to watch for this team. Again, so much attention paid to Cam and Caden Boozer. Who else can step up? And Jackson, one of those guys.
He's already got offers from Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, and a few others. Fighting for the rebound here. It is off of Jackson, so we stay with Compass. The keeper Jackson, who leads the Explorers in scoring. He's the number 40 ranked power forward in this class. Nearly came up with a steal there. In the corner, a 3 does not fall, so Cam Boozer with the board. Boozer, just pure muscle to the hoop.
Yeah, I mean, physical and such a good finisher around the rim. He has great touch around the basket. We think about touch a lot in terms of shooting ability. It's just as important around the rim, and Cam Boozer has great touch around the basket.
And then a Caden Boozer touch leads to a foul, swiping the wrist of Lanier. Looks like Cam does such a nice job using his body to create space, and once he has the space, that's when the touch comes in.
Correct. He is excellent at generating angles, finding creative ways to get a shot off, because teams have sent so many different looks at him over the years. Double teams, triple teams, zones. He is used to defenders coming from everywhere and still finding ways to be productive.
He's won state championships in Florida, Peach Jam championships, and also gold medals with Team USA, most recently at the World Cup last summer. Mika Murinen rebounded by Boozer. At the top of the key, a Cam Boozer 3 is off. And it stays with the Explorers. But we haven't seen success from behind the arc for either Boozer. They're combined 0 for 5. I know that's really the next step in a lot of people's minds for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Caden as a point guard, I think it's going to be important for him if he wants to be, a starter as a freshman to be able to shoot the 3 consistently. That will open up a lot of things for him off the bounce.
Jackson shoots through like lightning, and a 3-point lead for Explorers.
The heck of a move by Marcellus Jackson.
Murinen thought about it. Kalick House. And we'll stay here with the whistle going against the Explorers. 3 until halftime. First game of the Border League action on a Friday night in Vegas. An Explorers program getting ready to contend for what could be a 4th consecutive state title in Florida. Here's a Fogel corner 3. Shot was contested hard. House. Murinen. The finish, not there, but the foul was.
Compass has done a great job on the offensive glass. A lot of that's Murinen and his length, but they've done a phenomenal job of generating extra possessions, and that's something that Andrew Moran and this Explorers coaching staff cannot be happy with. I mean, you have Cam Boozer, the best rebounder in the EYBL multiple years running. Like, you have to find a way to put bodies on bodies and limit teams to one possession. Compass has really been kept in it here the last several minutes because of those second chance opportunities, and Murnin trying to take advantage here at the stripe.
And 17 turnovers for the Explorers helping, and Murnin helping. It's a 1-point game. Caden on the alley-oop to Jackson Richardson.
That is the magic of Caden Boozer as a passer. So much fun to watch, and has the guys to throw it up to with guys like Cam and obviously Jackson Richardson there.
Yeah, with the tools at his disposal, hard to stop number 2 in white. Murnin. Fogel. Little jab step for space and the finish.
It's a tough shot by Davis Fogel. He's a guy that I've really liked watching. Played on a smaller circuit and Under Armour, but he can handle the ball. He has great size. He's really, really tough. Makes great decisions and living up to that billing here so far.
Jackson's fouled. Next up, free throws. Yeah, Davis Fogel, 4-star out of Anacortes, Washington. He'll play Gonzaga next year, and he's actually the first U.S.-born commit for Gonzaga in over a year. Last year's class was 4 international guys. As Marcellus Jackson sets for free throws. Let's take a look at one of our plays of the game so far. This is maybe the best passer in the nation. Boozer to one of the high flyers, Richardson.
Yeah, sucking the defense. Randall kind of put in jail, doesn't know what to do. 2-on-1, and Caden throw it up to the big guy Richardson for the dunk.
Takes 2 to tango. Both guys tangoed pretty hard, eh? Kalick House. Off to Randall. His pocket got picked briefly. Caden House steps through. A miss. Richardson. Boozer in the corner. That's a 3-ball for Marcellus Jackson and a 5-point lead.
It's unselfishness. Turned down a good shot, which Caden Boozer had from 3 for a great one. Marcellus Jackson knocks it down, and that's why guys love playing with Caden Boozer.
Nice give and go here, and the rejection by Cam Boozer. Reward the big man. Yes, and 1.
Run the floor, big fella. That is exactly what you want out of any big. Like, if you coach a big man, put on the film of what Cam Boozer did there. Verticality to protect the rim on one end, run the floor, catch, finish through traffic on the other. That is the magic of Cam Boozer. It's not flashy all the time, but man, is he productive. It's because of moments like that.
He's got a game-high 11 points. Showing all the tools in a few seconds. Here's Fogel up top. Lanier curving around. Lanier looking outside, and the pass was tipped by Caden Boozer.
Explorers have been really, really locked in defensively for the better part of this first half. A little bit of a slow start, but since then they've been really, really good. Really, those offensive rebounds, the only thing that has kept Compass in the game. They've got 7 of them.
Caden House, a 5-star out of Phoenix, to his twin brother, Kalick. Brother to brother, now to Fogel, along 2. Rebound chased by Cam Boozer. Who's it off of? Looks like off of Compass, so we'll go to Explorers.
Opportunity to get it to double figures. I've always felt like 10 and above at half is a different beast psychologically. If the Explorers can get that here, that'd be big for the direction of this game.
Chance to win the psychological battle, but Caden, a rare turnover. Mika Murnin on the feed, and then a huge rejection for Dabami. We'll stay here with Compass.
And on the flip side, if you're Compass and you can get it to 5 or 6 before the break, you feel really good about that. given how you played for the last 5-10 minutes or so. I mean, these final possessions of halves are such big momentum swings. I've always felt like these points are worth a lot more than the 2 or 3 on the board.
I feel like we should make the ball gold, right? Sort of like the NBA three-point contest. Here's Murnin down low, and he drops it in so smooth, the step back.
That is a tough shot. Little Dirk Nowitzki vibes.
Totally. Just 5 to go. These points are valuable, and Jackson Richardson, the spinning alley-oop to send us into halftime.
I think I'd like Jackson Richardson's job. Just run to the rim. A Boozer twin's going to throw it up to me.
And the highlight is tailor-made for you. So that's what sends us to break. Explorers with an 8-point lead. Cam Boozer, 11 points. Keeper Jackson with 10. And we head into a halftime break. A real quickie. We'll be back with half 2 on the other side. You're watching the Border League, presented by the United States Marine Corps on League Ready. And let's take a look at tonight's first half stats, brought to you by Shot Tracker. Big time matchup between Compass and the Explorers, and a little sloppy start, Kevin, but we're seeing the offense of the Explorers just start to work like a machine.
Yeah, they've been really efficient. Again, it helps to have 2 of the best players in the country, Cam and Caden Boozer. But 56% from the field, 40 from 3. I'll take that every day. And especially after they started slow, it felt like they scored pretty much every possession in the final several minutes of the half.
A big matchup we were watching tonight was between one of the top juniors in the country, Mika Murnin, and one of the top seniors, Cam Boozer, in the front court. How has that one played out?
I mean, you've seen both guys' strengths, right? Mika, playing inside out, shooting the 3, hitting that tough fadeaway at the end of the half. Cam Boozer with the physicality, but also showcasing his passing ability, showing he can get others involved through that lob towards the end of the half. I mean, he is a really versatile piece, and I think showing his evolving skill set.
And both Boozer and Murnin in double figures as Boozer's squad leads by 8. And we start half 2. Sam Brief, Kevin Sweeney, and our wonderful production crew with you here at Coronado High School in Vegas. A feed to Caden House. Murnin right there on the glass, and then Boozer scoops up his miss.
That's the one thing with Murnin. I think still around the rim, he's a little too fast. Like, bring that ball down, get your feet set, and go up strong and finish. That doesn't need to be a putback. I think those are the things where as a 16, 17-year-old is continuing to still learn. But hard to quibble with the motor, his willingness to fight on the glass. He has really been a factor on the offensive glass for Compass tonight.
6'11" out of Finland with a beautiful jumper. Now we get to watch it. We don't get to watch it fall as Debami scoops the board. Debami, 1-on-3, and then Jackson Richardson plays cleanup.
All this guy does is dunk, right? I mean, he is around the rim on every trip and has put together his own personal highlight reel so far tonight.
8 points and only 1 miss as Compass calls time. Boy, Jackson Richardson is such a high flyer, 28th ranked player in the class of 2026. Dad was a high flyer in the NBA, and I see a lot of him in his young son.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a dynamic athlete and a guy who wants to play above the rim, right? This is a guy who plays with such aggression, attacks on every trip, and I think has a great feel for where he needs to be on the floor to get some of those passes from Caden and Cam, and that time, right place, right time on the offensive glass. So big fan of what Jackson Richardson has provided this Explorers team today, and might have his star turn next year when Cam and Caden graduate, but for now, playing his role at a really high level.
And now we look at the man who produced the Boozer twins. Carlos Boozer, 13 years in the NBA, a couple times an All-Star, a couple times an Olympian. Showcases like this must be fun for him.
I mean, it'd be a lot of fun to watch your sons play at the level that they play. A lot of fun to watch your sons go play for your alma mater at Duke.
How about Davis Fogel with an and one, the Gonzaga-bound forward.
And just letting you feel like the game is starting to teeter. It gets to 10. Get the 3 from Jeremiah Green, the timeout by Compass, and now an opportunity to cut it even closer, get it to 4 here. Still with almost 15 minutes left in the game.
Fogel with 7 points. Make it 8. He'll stay in his home state of Washington, play for Mark Few and Gonzaga next fall. Jackson on House. Jackson the teardrop. And rebound goes to Caden. Boozer with the left hand and a foul.
That is a elite finish from Caden Boozer with the left hand, gliding his way to the rim, finding an angle on finishing through contact.
Believe it or not, that's the first bucket of the night for Caden Boozer. We say pass first point guard. He had 3 assists, couple steals before even scoring a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of his game, right? He's not someone who needs to score a ton to make a massive impact. He has been very impactful today. He just hasn't had to score to do it.
Green. Off to Fogel. Compass within 7 against one of the top teams in the nation. House makes his move. And that was off a foot. I think it was Cam Boozer's. And we stay on the Compass end. Shot clock at 6. Wonder if this will... Yeah, now it resets. And off of Lanier's shin. Stolen away by Debami. Explorers with it, and Richardson finishes He's hit every shot tonight, save one.
Helps when you're shooting from a foot away.
And from many feet away, it's a 3 for Lanier.
Big time answer from Lanier. Compass is really trying to apply some pressure here and battle stay in this game.
Boozer from the free throw line. Rebound Murnin. House a little shimmy. And now Fogel resets the offense. He's working on Cam Boozer. As tough a test as you'll get. Murnin plunges in. Murnin scoops it. And Fogel was fighting for the board. It's a foul against Cam Boozer.
Man, I mean, if Murnin had finished that, it would have been ridiculous. I don't know how he got his arm to the rim. Somehow got it there, flipped it up, just couldn't get the finish. But you see the versatility and the impact of his length on every possession. It is hard to defend his shot. I mean, they're different players, but you watched Ace Bailey last night, for Rutgers in their scrimmage against St. John's. Of course, the top 2024 draft or 2025 draft prospect, excuse me. There's a similar level of you just can't defend him because he's so long. His shot just goes over you.
And Richardson stays at near perfect from the floor. 14 points on 7 of 8 shooting. House can't hit. Rebound to Bami. Boozer to Boozer. And Caden gets fouled by Murnin, who is very upset. Might get teed up, and I think he just did.
Yeah, I think he did too, and that's a maturity thing for Mika Murnin, right? You have to understand when you have to reel in your emotions and not compound a mistake, right? You're already trying to hang on in this game. Now you're going to give extra free throws and potentially possession to the Explorers in a time that your team really can't afford to give it away.
Yeah, free throws and the ball now.
At the end of the day, coaches love emotion, right? You want Mika Murnin to be upset. You want him to play with passion, but you don't want that to negatively impact your team, and Mika let that happen there. He's a smart young player. He'll learn from this one, but spiking the ball is a no-no. This isn't the gridiron.
You got to understand the ways to show that emotion, right? You pump your fist and yell, you won't get teed up, but spike the ball, and you will. You're not Gronk. So Caden Boozer puts the Explorers at 50. As we bring you the Border League action at Coronado High School in Las Vegas. Just a wonderful event with some of the best talent in the country. Last year, Columbus made it to the final of the Border League and lost to Cooper Flagg and the Florida Eagles. Flagg, who is going to Duke, 20 points, 11 boards, 7 assists, 4 blocks in the title game. Stat sheet stuffer, capital S.
This is a special era of high school talent, whether it's Cooper Flagg, whether it's Cam Boozer, A.J. DeBonsa, who we'll see later tonight here at Coronado High School. I mean, it is not often you see this level of star power in 1 or 2 classes, and it's been really fun to watch these guys grow up over the last couple of years.
Boozer went flying and drew a foul. Right, so much talent, and so much of it is just in this game. But Kevin, we're going to get a look at A.J. DeBonsa in our 3rd game of the night, coming at 7 o'clock local time. And you got DeBonsa, you've got Cam Boozer, number 1, number 2. Both of them are power forward. What's the biggest difference between those two in their skill set?
A.J. is more of that traditional wing. He's the Kevin Durant, the Paul George, slasher. Cam is really the traditional power forward, right? You're seeing some of that, maybe Paolo Banchero type game, but he came up as more of a post player and is continuing to add to that perimeter game. So they're very different. They're both really, really good, really, really productive in their own ways, and teamed up over the summer to win a gold medal for Team USA. And I think if they team up again, which you would think they will on that circuit over the next several years, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And we mentioned Victor Wembanyama potentially helping France push. Well, the answer might be Cam Boozer and AJ DeBench moving forward.
Right, you look at United States basketball, and the names right now are the NBA guys, but this really is the next generation as Boozer slams it home, but it was after a foul.
Yeah, I think a bump in, from the screen, Randall and Jackson got tied up. They called that before Boozer's highlight slam.
Still slammed it in, still got it on camera, still cut that up, put it in a sizzle reel. And you know what? We'll just do that. This didn't count, but it's nice to watch. Our team's all over it.
Cam has no problem getting to 20, but he still put his hands up one of those 2 points on the board.
And quietly, we've got the Explorers also muscling out to a now game-high 13-point lead. Kevin, how have they done it? Just ballooning this thing.
I think getting on transition's been big, right? Getting stops and being able to push the basketball, get Caden and Cam in space. It's so hard to break down as athletic a team as Compass is in a half court. And I think getting up and down the floor has really helped them create some mismatches and advantages.
In spite of 12 turnovers, it's been pretty polished shooting from Compass. 40% from downtown, 56% from the floor. And a 13-point lead for the team from Miami. Green got a bump from Boozer. Didn't really find his feet defensively before flailing his arm out.
Yeah, it's a sloppy one defensively. Green just cerebral at finding the contact necessary.
See Carlos Boozer chilling on the couch behind, and DeBami with the flush.
Run the floor, big fella.
French freight train. Eric DeBami. You'll hear his name a lot in coming years. Green forces some contact, and he will head to the line. By Eric DeBami, he's not the player in the spotlight tonight, but he is emerging as an up-and-coming star from France.
I mean, the mobility at 6'10" to run the floor is really impressive. Get out on the perimeter and defend. Get in the passing lane, jump it, and take it for the quote-unquote pick six.
And Green on the free throw. Native of Denton, Texas. This is a four-star who's already committed to Texas A&M. Jeremiah Green. Perfect at the stripe.
Buzz Williams loves those kind of bulldog guards that live at the rim, willing defenders, will play in high-intensity, full-court defenses for 40 minutes. And that fits Jeremiah Green's game. Still got to improve as a shooter, but I think if you're thinking about recruiting fit, it's easy to see why Buzz Williams wanted to keep this kid in state.
Another good interior pass from a Boozer. Keeper Jackson was the beneficiary. There's a three. Jacob Lanier strokes it in.
Top 50 kid in 2026, and his upside is sky high as that kind of 3-and-D wing knocking him down.
Cam Boozer dunk. Keeps the Explorers up 14. Fogel's shot boarded by Boozer. Off to Caden Boozer. Step through. Off the glass, no. And rebound to House. 1-on-2. Fogel cleans, but that was after a foul. Kevin, just circling back to Jacob Lanier, top 50 junior. He's got offers already from K-State, Arkansas, Cal, and a few others. His recruitment might heat up as the year goes on.
Yeah, I think it's been challenging for a lot of these 2026 kids. High school or college coaches so focused on the portal and then 2025. I think there's a lot of college coaches like, why am I even thinking about 2026? But guys like Jacob Lanier make you want to think about the future because he is a really, really high-level talent and a guy I think will come into full focus into this summer as he moves up into that 17U summer basketball circuit.
And I know you talk with tons of college coaches. Does it feel like their plates are more full now than ever before? Maybe too full?
Yeah, I mean, you saw it with the Tony Bennett retirement this week. A legendary coach walking away from the game early. I think there's definitely a lot of fatigue throughout the industry with the amount of just day-to-day grind that this game has been. Not that college basketball has ever been a relaxing job, but with the portal and NIL, it's just a 12-month-a-year job in recruiting. And instead of finishing the season, having a couple weeks to decompress, then going out on the road, it's finish the season, hit the portal, go recruit high school, come back, start off summer workouts, go back, recruit more high school kids, do visits in the fall, and all of a sudden it's November and you're tipping it off again with a new season. So, yeah, there's a lot of fatigue, a lot of burnout in the college coaching profession right now. But I do think that coaches are excited to watch this group of young players that have really emerged in this 25 and 26 high school classes. It's been extra hard to deal with it with down high school classes in 22 and 23. It has certainly picked up a little in 24 with Cooper Flagg and a lot starting in 2025. And we see the talent today on full display, both with guys like the Boozers, but also 26ers and beyond like Murrin and Jacob Lanier.
And this is really the wave that's coming, and it's a tidal wave of Jackson Richardson dunks tonight. That's his 4th off an alley-oop.
Explosive is the operative word when it comes to Jackson Richardson.
Green thought about 3. Fogel weaving around Jackson. Now House storms through. Can't drop it in. It's Boozer on the board. Little give and go, a 3-ball. Cam Boozer's first from behind the arc.
Yeah, if he makes that shot, best of luck, right? I mean, he is so hard to guard already. If he becomes a reliable 3-point threat, no one's going to be able to stop him, at least until the NBA.
He did shoot 36% from downtown in the EYBL circuit last year. As his twin brother comes up with the board. 1 on 3. There's Jackson Richardson with another dunk.
Just put it on the rim. He's going to go get it. I mean, he's had putback dunks. He's had alley-oop dunks. He is living above the rim tonight as the Explorers pull away.
And no one scored more than Jackson Richardson. 18 points, 9 of 10 shooting, but almost all of the, quote, shots are things like this. Now, that's not easy to do.
I was going to say, in theory, it's an easy shot, but to run the floor, to time it the way that he times it, I mean, he is a special, special athlete and a very instinctual player. I cannot wait to see Jackson Richardson continue his development.
His dad played at Michigan State. Jason, who also played 14 seasons in the NBA. His older brother, Jace, is suiting up for Michigan State this fall. Do you think it's going to be green and white for Jackson?
I mean, it's going to be a battle, but he will have all of the family in one corner, you would think. And look, obviously Jace may have an NBA future. You never doubt could go maybe 2 and done, but the opportunity to play again with your brother would have to be pretty cool. And I imagine Tom Izzo would love to have the pair.
Well, we know Jackson Richardson is high flying. He actually jumped over his dad, Jason Richardson, at the City of Palms dunk contest last year. There's his dad. He was wearing his old Warriors jersey, then jumps over him, and he wins the dunk contest, just as Jason did twice in the NBA.
Good way to show appreciation to Pops while also showing I've got some Pops too.
Right, I will do as you do over you. Like, not everyone can say they can jump over their dad.
Well, right next to my face, it's boiling right now. That shit hot.
It's a 19-point lead for the Explorers, and Jeremiah Green goes 2 for 2 in this trip. It's great to have you with us for the Border League action here at Coronado High School in Vegas. And down low, Dibami bowled over his defender. It's an offensive foul.
And that's where Dibami's going to continue to grow, is just floor awareness. He doesn't like the call, and quite frankly, it is 50-50 whether it's a block or a charge. But Jeremiah Green did a good job sliding in and putting his body on the line, rewarded with the charge call.
Green speeds in. Lanier, corner three, his second.
And how about the delivery from Green? He's really had some nice moments in the second half. Quiet in the first, but made a three, has gotten to the rim, and now showing off the distribution skills.
And Boozer's called for the offensive foul. A little stiff arm drew the whistle.
That may be the toughest call to officiate right now in basketball, is that little forearm shiver, because it's happening on every play. How do you officiate it? There's always contact. Who's initiating that contact? Is the defender into you and you're shoving him off, or are you shoving away to create space? Ref thinks Caden Boozer the offender on that one, but I guarantee if you watch any drive, there's going to be a little bit of a forearm shove. That's just part of the game.
Cam Boozer cleans up defensively. And then flailing Jackson Richardson draws some contact. And we mentioned Jackson jumping over Pops and how Pops won 2 slam dunk contests. His first, that was in 2002, an NBA All-Star weekend down in Atlanta. It was him, Richard Jefferson, Amari Stoudemire, and Desmond Mason in the final. Pretty loaded list of names.
Desmond Mason from the Supersonics. I mean, that's how we know we're dating ourselves here.
You might have NBA coming to Seattle near you soon, though. Here's Fogel from the Seattle Burbs to the bottom of the net.
Yeah, did a great job not settling for three, attacking the rim, playing off 2 feet, and floating it home. That's the type of 3-level scoring ability that Mark Few's really excited about at Gonzaga.
Boozer. Here's the other Boozer. 3 balls way off. Fogel with a high dribble. Finds Caden House. Turnaround. Boarded by Caden. It's a 12-point lead for the Explorers. Pedal to the metal here. As contact from Fogel yields a whistle. Foul against Compass.
And these are critical possessions right now in this ballgame, because Compass has been able to battle back, get it to 12. You're hanging in. Can you get it to single digits and apply some game pressure with 7 minutes to go? Or can Explorers re-extend the lead?
Richardson gets fouled, and Richardson goes to the line. I think every shot tonight from Jackson Richardson has been within 3 feet of the hoop.
Yeah, these free throws will be the real test. Can he make a jumper? But he has been so impressive so far with his athletic ability, his feel for the game, and just his mentality and aggressiveness, right? Like, I think a lot of high-level athletes negate their own athleticism because they're too tentative on the floor. Jackson Richardson has not been tentative at all tonight.
Nice. More flights from Jackson Richardson than at the Vegas airport tonight. He is bullish, he is springy, and he's really one of the top players in the class of 2026. We've got some of the best of them tonight in this game. Mika Murinen is the number 5 player in his class. Caden House, number 14 in that class. But it's been a senior veteran polished team in the Explorers tonight that have just looked crisper. 12-point lead turns to 13. Lanier to House. On a little pick and roll, Mika Murinen reminds us he's here too.
Smooth finish around the rim, and again, his ability to play as a ball handler but also a roll man, that's the versatility that I think a lot of scouts love with Mika Murinen.
Steal from Fogel. House speeds in, up and under, draws a foul on Cam Boozer.
I love the aggressiveness from House, but if you hit Murinen on a trailer there, he is dunking that thing and bringing the house down.
Sort of a necessary foul. And we come towards a timeout. Give me a quick bone to chew on. Our next matchup will feature the Veil against Dynamic Prep. And you've got some more loaded rosters in this game. Jermaine O'Neal Jr. and Jaden Toombs for Dynamic Prep. Braden Burries, Isaac Williamson for the Vale. Who are you watching?
I mean, Braden Burries is as good a wing scorer as there is in this class. That two-guard, natural scorer, recruited by many of the top programs in the country. Excited to watch him against a really talented Dynamic Prep team loaded with Texas talent.
And we'll have that game for you at the top of the next hour. Still about 6 minutes to go in this matchup. One of the premier matchups of the weekend between the Explorers and Compass. And the two biggest names, Cam Boozer, Caden Boozer. What has impressed you most tonight about, let's start with Cam.
I think Cam's continued emergence on the perimeter has been big, like his playmaking ability through that lob on the short roll from the free throw line. Just showing he's more than a post scorer, right? Yes, he can go get 20 and 10 playing down low, but that continued versatility in his game is what sets him apart and why I think he can be a generational prospect.
Yeah, tonight, Cam, 16 points, 5 and 9 shooting, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 7 boards. House goes 1 for 2 at the stripe, and here's the other Boozer, Caden, who is not just the other Boozer. This is one of the top point guards in the country, also headed to Duke next fall. Richardson loses it, gets it back about 70 feet from the hoop, and it's Compass ball with a Jackson Richardson turnover.
The sloppiness is the one thing that can get you in a game like this. You're up 10, just be solid, right? If you're the Explorers, run some clock, get into your offense, let the Boozers take control. I think you don't want to do too much, and I just think they forced it a little bit there. Came up with a turnover. 16 turnovers tonight for the Explorers, and a 10-point lead. Lanier has hit 3 of those tonight. And he has been automatic from distance. And all of a sudden, you look up, it's a 7-point game. I believe the lead was as big as 17, maybe 18 for the Explorers. Credit to Compass for battling back and really making this a game.
This one could get juicy down the stretch. Jackson finds Cam Boozer. Working on Fogel, just muscles by him. Cleans up his own miss. Cam Boozer, again, the 3rd time's the charm for the big man.
We looked up, he only had 7 rebounds. All right, let's get us to double-double status and find a way to get 2 points to the board in the process.
Yeah, make it 18 and 10 for Cam Boozer, and 11 now.
And Cam Boozer wakes up with 20 points and 10 rebounds. That's the guy he has been for a long time.
And there's Caden, who has all 10 of his points in the second half.
He can score when it matters. He doesn't need to score to make an impact.
And Lanier hasn't missed one of those in a while.
But I think one of the things you love when you watch Caden Boozer is he allows the game to dictate how he's going to play.
And now Cam Boozer hits a tray.
I mean, that is an absolute dagger if you're Compass Prep.
Lead balloons back out to 2 touchdowns as Murinen hits a putback dunk. Still a commanding lead for the Explorers, and only 4:20 to go. Nice step through. Jackson draws a foul. 3-point shooting tonight, Kevin. Strong for both teams. 45% for Compass, 46% for the Explorers.
Yeah, especially in the second half, it doesn't really feel like Compass has missed. And part of that's Lanier. He's been really, really hot. But they have been really efficient in trying to mount this comeback. Issue for them is the Explorers can really score too. And you saw that little explosion by Cam Boozer to give them some much-needed separation in this game.
Well, your instinct is right. The two teams combined 7 of 11 from 3 in the second half.
That'll play.
Yeah. Makes for some fun basketball. Tipped out by Boozer. You don't see either Boozer twin take a single defensive possession off. I mean, their hands are always active.
They're just professionals. Like, that's the easiest way of putting it. They have a very workmanlike approach, unlike that of, again, I don't want to be critical of other 17-year-olds, but Cam and Caden are a little different in terms of their approach. I think it's why they've won so much, is because they come at things very much with an NBA mentality already.
And Cam to Caden pays off with 2 more.
Why not, right? Again, Caden putting on the scoring punch in the second half when it's needed. Nice finish there.
They have won state titles. They have won Peach Jam titles. They have won gold medals for Team USA. There's a lot more winning to come for both Boozers. Cam Boozer was not just Gatorade National Player of the Year last year, but also MVP of the Under-17 World Cup. An 82-point win over Canada in the gold medal game. It was hardly a game.
That whole trip was, I mean, stunningly dominant at that U17 World Cup. And again, part of that is player availability and whatnot.
Richardson says I can do it outside also.
But if that tournament may well be a sign of things to come for this kind of golden generation of young talents.
7 3-pointers for Jacob Lanier.
I'm not sure any of them touched the rim.
7 for 9, 21 points. Only Cam Boozer has scored more. And here's Boozer with it. Richardson. Caden Boozer. Teardrop. Short. Board goes to Randall. And then give it right back.
Yeah, it was kicked by Cam Boozer. The refs did not call it initially, and the Compass bench, I think, would have lost its mind if they didn't get that call. So eventually, our official got it and keeps the possession down here with AZ Compass Prep.
And order is restored. 2.5 to go. Our next matchup features California's The Vale, Braden Burries, Isaac Williamson and company, against Texas program powerhouse Dynamic Prep, Jaden Toombs, Jermaine O'Neal Jr., and more. Here's a deep, deep 3. Lanier really testing things with a big-time heat check. Feels like a formality that the Explorers will win this thing. 2 to go and another foul. It'll send Boozer to the line.
Again, the stats are awesome, right? Cam Boozer's going to put up crazy numbers. Caden Boozer's going to lead you in assists. But I do think the most impressive part of their resume is the fact that they've won so much. I mean, 3 Peach Jams in a row is pretty much unprecedented. Columbus had 0 state titles in Florida before they arrived. They've got 3 now. They're hunting a 4th here this season. When you win at everything you do, that says a whole heck of a lot about who these guys are as players, and I expect it to continue this year with the Explorers at Columbus, continue at Duke next season, and continue in the NBA down the line.
You mentioned like a quarterback in football. Wins are associated with individuals when you're a great player at a program, and these two have done nothing but win. Boozer to Boozer!
That is a twin connection, because I don't think anyone on the floor would have expected Caden to throw that pass other than Cam. He was in the right place for it. What an incredible lob between those two brothers.
In sync since birth. And we've seen it on basketball courts all over the world. Just more to come for Caden and Cam Boozer. Here's Caden with a spin. Swallowed up by the D. Gives it back to his twin bro. And Cam polishes off along 2.
Now he's just toying with you, right? I mean, he's dunking the ball. He's hitting fadeaways. He's shooting threes. He's driving it to the rim. He's blocking shots. There is nothing on the basketball floor that Cameron Boozer cannot do.
And Fogel continues to balloon his stat line. 14 points on 55% shooting. But the story of the night, Cam Boozer, Caden Boozer, and Columbus Explorers with a dominant performance, up 18. Cam's pass is picked, and the last gasp for Compass. Get one last look at Caden House, the 5-star from Phoenix. Lanier, his shooting tonight was really impressive, and he's got 23 heading to the locker room.
That's the next step, right? Be able to attack the rim, attack the closeout. He does that there and finishes through contact.
And with 27 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, an easy choice. Tonight's U.S. Marines Player of the Game, it's Cam Boozer, brought to you by the United States Marine Corps.
I mean, everything you can do on a basketball floor, he does. Felt like he had maybe a slow start tonight, and you look up and he's got 27, 12, and 4. That's the Cam Boozer experience.
And Jackson Richardson, not too shabby himself. 25 points. He missed only 1 shot tonight in what'll go down as a dominant Explorers win by 18 points. The Boozers, Richardson, and company dominate a really talented Compass team and win by 18 in our first game of a loaded weekend of Border League action in Las Vegas. And it was Boozer to Boozer on the alley-oop to polish this baby off.
The connection wins. It produces plenty of highlights. And it puts up a ton of stats. Heck of a day for Caden and Cam Boozer to get the Border League here in Vegas kicked off well.
90 points in 16 minutes of action. Not too shabby. Tell me a key takeaway. Any new lessons you've learned tonight about these prospects?
And Jackson Richardson seems ready to explode. He was dynamic, and if all of a sudden this Explorers team adds a third high-level prospect to the mix, as Jackson Richardson appears to be on that trajectory, watch out to the state of Florida.
It might be a 4th straight state title for Columbus High School. We will step aside from Las Vegas and bid you adieu for now. Next up, it's the Veil and dynamic prep from Coronado High School. This is the Border League on League Ready, and we'll be back soon.